is that things take a lot of time. Iran's been in some of their news articles recently, and that's a very different state of affairs, and an announcement is not meaningful here as quickly as it may be in Iran. In Iran, I've been told, over 90% of announcements are supposed to be listened to with immediacy, and any punishment that comes as a result of what has been said from the top or stated from an official will come shortly thereafter if people are not following what the statement gives as advice. In the United Kingdom, we don't actually announce things like that at all. So in the example of Palestine Action, quote unquote, which researchers in criminology have found to be a murderous organisation, it should not be taken as being an okay for such a murderous group of people to carry on with stoking another murder attempt by presenting themselves in public. And I've seen documentation of their text messages and their WhatsApp messages, if you like, to use the in phrase at the moment, of members of their inner circle who believed they were communicating using an encrypted app, if you can believe, saying that they wanted to flood a university campus so they could attack somebody in a different place. And this has been filed with the International Criminal Court as well, so they know full well the name of this group of people in the UK. Borders don't have walls, mate, not here. People can know who you are. So folks in offices that are warm and probably for people that are well fed are putting out messages and posts saying that it seems like a group is sort of banned by the polite elite, but it's okay. And professional people that are hard-working and live next door to them can't enforce the law anymore. The fact is that announcements do not have immediate effect, and it's also not an announcement. You know why? Because we're living in the United Kingdom, not in a state of Iran. So we have to be careful, and the rest of us have to put out messages that say the opposite, because we need to make it clear that an ongoing investigation should not be interfered with, even if your policy on the front page on the top line states when you can't do it, you're supposed to use your common sense as well. We thought to remind BBC staff in particular of that point. They seem to be the least responsible people when it comes to writing content online for online purposes, for an online readership. But as it pertains to policing, apart from the not venerated institution that is the Metropolitan Police, police officers are very worried and very concerned about a group that has continued to market itself under a name when in fact at its core it has murderers. They're very concerned and they're very worried about public safety. Doesn't seem to be a concern in the centre of London in those high up offices where people are paid too much and also given too much food. But out here in the sticks, somewhere like Reading for instance, which is not the sticks, but I know they've called it that before, people are worried about their own personal safety. I caught somebody this morning, somebody who's female, who believe they still exist. We're taught to think about ourselves as males and consider our sins at length, who is actually known to be a violent racist. She's not just a racist though, she attacks people of her own colour, but for different reasons. She's also known as a thief. That wouldn't matter to people that are keyboard officers typing out messages for the public to understand. Well, we understand what the situation is, and we are actually those people that are far more professional than you are and actually delegate the tasks that you often don't complete, which means that these groups are left in action and acting against our interests.